Hi, everybody. Coming up on 10:33 right now. Please let me know this is coming through loud and clear. We'll get this conversation going. See many of you are joining on right now as we are locked and loaded here in the Weather Center, getting ready for a very busy couple of days here as we're watching out for the possibility of severe weather moving into the eastern United States. Starts tomorrow, and that threat will pick up especially into the weekend as we get toward the Carolinas, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. Unfortunately, the brand new model data that's just coming in prior to our 11 o'clock broadcast, we are seeing the severe weather threats a bit off the charts, to be honest with you. I see Tigerville's in the house. Many of you watching from WYFF's YouTube right now. We've got many watching from Facebook, where Shoals in the house. Greer's in the house. Hi, Amy. Campobello, I see Atlanta. Hi, watching there. Tryon, where Shoals, Toccoa, Taylor's in the house. Thank you guys for watching right now. If you can, please like this video. Comment in the comment section where you're watching from. And if you don't subscribe or follow to this particular channel that you're watching from right now, please go ahead and do so. Leo, the weather nerd. Hi, Leo. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for all that you do in supporting the channels here, and we'll get this conversation going. So I've got brand new model data in here as we're moving forward, and the tornado risk, unfortunately, is on the high side as we move throughout the next couple of days. So let's try to map that out with a couple of different models that I have here for you, including the brand new high-resolution computer model. Which, forgive me for just a second, I'm going to have to fix. For some reason, it wants to freeze here on me. There we go. We're back. Okay. It wanted to freeze on me there for a second, but here's our data as we've got this rocking and rolling here with a brand new computer model. I got two new ones that came in. There are high-resolution models, both the HRR, which is the high-resolution rapid refresh model, wants to show the storms coming in. So let's re-rack this here for you as we see this unfold. So what's going to happen tomorrow is the morning is rather calm. It's the afternoon into the evening. By the way, nothing's happening here tomorrow. It's out west. Notice Missouri, Illinois, this line of storms forming here. And then to the south, you see over Mississippi, there's some supercellular development beginning there. Unfortunately, that looks to be the case is nighttime tornadoes. This would be 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight. Most of Missouri, Illinois, Tennessee, down to Mississippi, even Louisiana, under high risks for severe weather. This would be midnight tomorrow. Going into Saturday morning, that threat is coming through, and look at this line. I mean, this would be some fierce storms at 4 a.m., crossing the Mississippi line into Alabama. That's round one. That is round one of two that will be moving toward those states. Let's move on. That line starts to fall apart. Do we get any storms in the western Carolinas? Right now, I do not think so. It would not surprise me that a few collapsing thunderstorms move through very early on Saturday morning in some areas. Now, normally I'd say, poof, that collapses the atmosphere. The rest of Saturday's kind of worked over. But not in this case. We have a tremendous jet above our area that is going to lead to the potential of a lot of wind energy. So what that'll do is recover the atmosphere here across the southeast, and that's going to turn it over, as we like to say in meteorology. It's going to turn it from some clouds, somewhat rainy kind of feeling, to unfortunately very volatile. And this would be 11 a.m., the atmosphere is starting to rebuild. Here we are at 1 p.m. Unfortunately, the tornado parameters that we're seeing, as I'm going to show you in just a moment, are off the charts. Literally off the charts. I have a scale here, which I'll show you in a moment, that goes 1 through 10, and I'm seeing 12s and 14s. Honestly, I was talking to Griffin today. I didn't know it went above 10. To get a 12 and a 14 is off the charts as far as I can see, and I'll show you that in a moment. But here we are at 1 p.m. Unfortunately, it looks like probably what's going to be a particularly dangerous situation. We'll probably get a PDS tornado watch. You're probably going to have many confirmed tornadoes here in Mississippi and parts of Alabama midday Saturday. Now, into the evening hours, this line takes shape. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5, 6 cells that look tornadic to me just off the cuff at 3 o'clock. Now this would continue to press on to the east, very likely a exceptionally dangerous day on Saturday. This would continue to press east, and here we are into Alabama at 6 p.m. You have many cells that look like they're tornadic. East Tennessee, some rain, but Tennessee, honestly, is so close to that low that any one of those storms could be rotating. Here we are at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. That's as far as this model goes. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. Shows a tornadic afternoon and evening as far south as the panhandle of Florida, up through Alabama, Mississippi. And we're talking large and violent tornadoes being possible. Let's look at that outlook here before I go to the next model. Through midnight tonight, there's a chance for general thunderstorms. All right? Then tomorrow that threat ramps up. It's the highest back here through Missouri into Illinois, but that high risk of severe weather goes into Mississippi and Alabama. Then day 3, this is Saturday. This goes Saturday 8 a.m. to Sunday 8 a.m. Notice most of Alabama, almost all of Mississippi, Louisiana, into this area in the very high risk of severe weather. The high risk goes all the way into western North Carolina, the upstate of South Carolina, all of Atlanta Metro, down through Panama City, west through coastal Alabama, coastal Mississippi, into really bordering up with New Orleans. Not only that, but let me show you this. It's a hatched area. So when it's hatched like that with a black hatched area on top of it, that means that there's a high risk of significant severe weather. And with regard to tornadoes, that means EF2 or greater strength of a tornado. And for winds, it's in excess of 70 miles per hour. So you're saying here that there's a high risk in this area of Alabama, Mississippi. If you were to look at the probabilities, it'd be a 45% chance. Okay, guys, think about this for a second. A 45% chance of severe weather being 70 miles per hour or more, or an EF2 or greater tornado within 25 miles of any point. Folks, those are terrible odds. I mean, that's a bad day. I mean, if I were to tell you that there's a train speeding your way at 80 miles per hour and you have a 45% chance of it coming close to you, I mean, that's a high odd of getting some kind of severe weather there. And that does include a high risk. That percentage for the upstate, Oconee County westbound, is 30%. Then it jumps to 45% chance right there. And this is a day 3 outlook. The National Weather Service historically is pretty conservative when it comes to the day 3 outlook because they don't want to put a high risk only to remove it. That sends kind of a false signal. You want to start kind of at a moderate risk and have room for it to go up. So it would not at all surprise me to see this area either remain the same tomorrow or be expanded a bit. Let's look at the storm fuel. All right, let's get right to the heart of the storm. Here we are Friday, tomorrow evening. This area, plenty of fuel to work with. Into Saturday morning, West Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama in on that, and then this presses off to the east, and then as we go into Saturday evening, when we last leave it, we got 1,000, 2,000 plus Cape, so that's plenty of that to work with. Let's look at the HRRR significant tornado parameter. This is the one I was telling you, the NAM model. Look at this. Just scroll down to my key. I wonder if you can see my key. Can you see that down there? It goes to a 10, or at least the legend goes to a 10, all right? Now we look at it, you're at a 10, just maxing it out. Friday evening at 11 p.m. back to the west. There are no threats here at home tomorrow or tomorrow night. Now going into Saturday, that tornado threat is rebuilding. It's got to take advantage of the warm atmosphere during the day on Saturday and redevelop basically. So here we are. Going into Alabama, Mississippi, this would be 2 p.m. Saturday. Unfortunately, this looks like a devastating tornado outbreak, of which we would likely get numerous long-track tornado warnings as it moves on through. Here's a 10. Here's an 11. I mean, like I said, my legend down there had a max of 10. I'm seeing off the charts, quite literally off the charts. 6 p.m. Here's 8 p.m. That's as far as this model goes. Shows 7s and 8s. Folks, 2s and 3s usually give us tornado warnings. You got 7s and 8s here in Alabama. Does that translate into Georgia and then therefore the Carolinas? That's the big question. If so, it would likely be after midnight. I do have a model that gets us deeper down the road. Now, I honestly, if you want to be honest with you, I've been stalling a little bit because it takes a while for it to come in. So here we are. Let's rewind this same thing. I want to show you first the NAM's depiction of the precipitation and timing so we can compare it. Here we are. Let's go back to Friday. Let's go back to tomorrow afternoon. Same thing. You've got that developing back to the west, Missouri, Illinois. Likely a rough night in those areas. And then let's go to Saturday. So Saturday's when things are getting going in Mississippi, Alabama. Likely in this area right here. This would be, where are we at here? This is 4 p.m. Saturday. All right. 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 o'clock on Saturday. It's moving through Tennessee. And here it comes. This would be 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So that's as it's rolling through. This is a little bit slower than our last models, but that would be 7 a.m. Sunday morning. Let's look at the significant tornado parameter and look at the numbers it's showing. This would be in here 10s and 11s, 3 p.m. in Mississippi, 8, 9s, and 10s in Alabama. And then it's got 4s and 5s in Georgia. And then the last frame, you see it go into our area. This is as far as it goes. This is 7 a.m. You got 2s, 3s, but there's some reds in there. And if reds are in our key here, they're 3s and 4s. So comparing that to the last frame we had of the HRRR, let's go to significant tornado parameter. I mean, they're pretty identical as far as the strength of them. Let's look at the precipitation. I want to show you two more things here. This would be 8 p.m. It's rolling on through those areas. Last thing I want to show you is the tracks. Folks, this tells me where there could be rotating thunderstorms and what the tracks could be. I look for the number of them and the strength of them. All right, so I'm going to map this out. This in no way, shape, or form tells you exactly where a tornado is going to be, but it tells you will there be tornadoes and what do they look like. Well, folks, unfortunately, check this out. This is, I mean, you see this maybe once or twice per severe weather season. It's probably been several years since I've seen this many helicity tracks. I mean, again, these don't exactly represent where a tornado would be, but it's pretty close. You see a swarm across Alabama, Mississippi. That's why I told you that in that hatched area that was drawn right in here was a 45% chance of seeing an EF2 or greater tornado or 70-mile-per-hour winds. A 45% chance, okay? Those are high odds, and it's because of this map right here. I mean, that is well placed by the Storm Prediction Center and a bold prediction. I mean, you're 3 days out in saying a 45% chance of that strength is pretty dangerous, okay? Now, this is as far as it goes. The question here for us across North Georgia and the Western Carolinas, all of the Carolinas for that matter, how much weakening do we get with this system as temperatures cool Saturday night? Likely not a whole lot, and I'm going to leave you with this because I do have to get ready for the news, which is in 13 minutes. I hope you'll tune in there too. I've got new models there as well. I want to show you just above our heads. Surface, let's go upper air, wind. Let's jump up to 850 millibars. Yeah, this is why, folks. I mean, it may not matter that it's nighttime. And the reason why is the winds are just absolutely screaming. Here's a jet. This is what we call an upper air jet. You got it right in here. You got it right here. This brown would indicate a jet. you always look for the right front quadrant of that, which would be solidly placed here. But I mean, the winds are just screaming right above our heads. One, that brings in plenty of unstable, warm air. But two, it twists and turns the atmosphere such that it could give us the chance for severe weather. So here we are in the studio, not to give you dizzy, but the news coming up here in 12 minutes. We'll be on the air. Hope you'll switch over to WYFF4 and watch there. Hey, if you're new to this channel, maybe you stumbled upon this looking at severe weather threats, please like this video in the comments section. That was incredibly loud. Let me know where you're watching from, if you will, and turn on the notifications. If you're watching us on the WYFF4 YouTube page or my YouTube page, please go ahead and hit the notification button. That's the best way that you can be prepared should a warning be issued for your town. That is a way that you'll be able to stay informed. So if you're new to the channel, I would just appreciate you to subscribe or to follow, depending on if you're watching on Instagram or on Facebook. So Seneca's in the house, Hartwell. You know, folks, we're no stranger to the nighttime stuff. We've been there, done that. Let me throw my suit on here. Certainly no strangers to that as we move into those areas. But we've got Savannah's in the house. I mean, this is going to impact so many. My tie is quite crooked. The mirror. Going into the area there. Spartanburg, Greer. Hi, Kathy. Nancy Walker is watching from Lawrence. Thank you for watching, Nancy. Got Anderson in the house. 96 is in the house. Iva, Lawrence. Roxy's watching from YouTube. Mooresboro, Cross Hill, Union, West Union. Hendersonville. Quite smoky in Hendersonville. Yeah, I'm praying it weekends as well. Travelers Rest is in the house. Monroe, North Carolina, thank you for watching. Lenore, Pelzer, Central, Campobello. Charleston, Tennessee, thank you for watching. Gray Court. Good night, says Lou. Lou, hope you have a good night. All right, Augusta's in the house. Terry, thank you for watching. Spartanburg, you are certainly welcome there. Daniel. All right, folks. Liz from Tampa says, I moved from Tampa. Liz from Tampa, welcome to the upstate. We're glad to have you. St. Louis is in the house, yeah. Looked up some stats about St. Louis. In fact, St. Louis, the lowest pressure ever recorded in a storm was 977 millibars. This pressure could drop to that. Could be the lowest pressure ever recorded in St. Louis. Karen, if you're watching right now on a channel, you can subscribe to it. So if you're watching whatever you're watching on right now, go ahead and follow that page. If you're watching on the WYFF YouTube channel, you just click right onto it right there, hit subscribe, and then hit the bell. That'll subscribe you to the notifications as well. So if we go live, it'll be on your device there. It'll send you a little push alert like you're getting a text. Same story with Facebook. You can turn on notifications there as well. If you're new to subscribing or following, I would encourage you to do that. Chesney's in the house. 4 days until I have a newborn. Roxy, congratulations. How bad will St. Louis be? St. Louis could be really bad tomorrow, Caleb. Certainly need to stay weather aware. Have a way to receive those warnings. Ashley says, I missed your first half of your live. When is expected to hit Pendleton? Probably midnight through 5 a.m. is looking what we're seeing right now. But it's an overnight thing. It's an overnight thing Saturday night into Sunday morning. How's Inman looking? Inman's looking in the medium risks of severe weather right now. Avery's Creek, North Carolina. Hi there. Are we going to have a tornado in Pelzer at 5 a.m. Sunday? Austin, no way of knowing. Certainly a risk of a tornado, but right now watching it closely. Steve watching from Edneyville near my family's orchard. Thank you, Steve. Sure appreciate you. And hello to a neighbor. Forest City, North Carolina, you're in the medium risks right now. More of a Sunday early morning time frame for you. What time is it hitting St. Louis? Tomorrow evening. How is Seneca looking? Seneca's right now in the high risk of severe weather, and the timing would be tomorrow night. Roebuck, when will it hit North Carolina? Bobby, sometime Saturday night. Coney County going to get it again? Renee, no way of knowing exactly, but certainly a risk in a Coney County. Brandon, no need to be scared. Just be prepared, and that's my thing. Gum log. I need some gum log barbecue, Jamie. Where's a good place to cover in a tornado one-story house? Interior. Think about a hallway, a bathroom, something interior closet would be the best thing. Watching that closely. How's Georgia looking? A lot of Georgia's under a high risk. Atlanta, westbound especially. Folks, I know that, wrong button. I know that this can be a scary situation, especially when we're talking about nighttime tornadoes. But as we say, be prepared, not scared. Our job here is to make sure you have the tools to know what time it could be hitting so that you can make decisions for your family. If you're in those high areas or you have family in those high areas of risks, take note of the night, okay? You don't just want to, go to bed and just think everything, you want to have a way to receive those warnings, all right? That's Saturday night, Friday into Saturday for Alabama, Mississippi. And should a tornado warning hit, you want to be considerate of where you're at. If you're in a mobile home, maybe it's worth it to go to a hotel for a night, okay? You want to be in an interior part of your home. You want to be away from doors and windows, and you want to have those kiddos, the last thing, if you're waking somebody up in the middle of the night, the last thing you want to be doing is gathering a tablet, a book, a pack of crayons. I mean, they're going to be scared too. Maybe they'll fall back asleep. That'd be great if you're sitting in a closet. But knowing as a dad how my kids would be, and when my wife does that, when I'm here tracking those storms, you got to kind of think ahead, have some pillows, have some blankets, make it an environment for them. Because if you're grabbing them out of their bed in the middle of the night from a tornado warning, things can happen fast. So just want you to be prepared for that. Folks, we have a whole other day to prepare for that for here at our neck of the woods. Not so for you areas in watching and have family that are watching in Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, Texas, Tennessee, Missouri, Illinois. It's going to be a rough day tomorrow, especially tomorrow night into Saturday. We will keep you posted. Folks, stay tuned for another update. And if you're new to this channel, please follow and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We got Chattanooga in the house. Gaffney's watching right now. Myrtle Beach is in the house. And Cindy is watching.